more liquor leading into these things.
The giant bottle of plastic bottle of vodka you have isn't cutting it?
Plastic vodka is the best.
Did you just say you need to prep more alcohol before these?
I might have a problem.
If I could finish that quantity of vodka, I would fall asleep on the air.
We have tried.
Oh, I'm getting mouth switch just watching you pour that into a glass.
It's kind of funny. It's like I pour it out of the bottle and it immediately gets better because I'm pouring it from plastic to glass.
It's like it tastes like it's filtered.
Yeah. It's got extra tannins and something. I don't know. What are some other bar flavor terms? So the world is ending, right? I guess. Oh yeah. Well, welcome back.
Welcome.
All that shit. Sorry, I was too preoccupied with my liquor.
He drank the first half of that plastic bottle of vodka before the show.
Sorry. Seemed like a good idea at the time. Should we just get this shot out of the way at the beginning?
We could do that. I'm on board.
Did you remember to put it in MyFitnessPal?
This is pre-fucking budgeted, man. I did it already. I even calculated the double. It's in there. I'm under budget for the day.
Oh, nice. You got the double ready? Cheers.
Cheers.
Ugh. Yeah. I can only imagine the faces I'm making with it.
Yeah, sometimes that
just hits you wrong.
One of the only times I've ever like thrown up while actively drinking was from plastic bottle vodka. It wasn't what you have. It was Rikolov.
That's a whole different level.
And it was off of a pier in Berrywood South. And I was young and we were drinking it and I took a shot and it just went wrong. And I was just like, nope, it was right into the water immediately after the shot.
Dude, I almost fucking choked to death on a piece of chicken tender the other day. We were at the
like bad?
Yeah, like what? You ever had that? Like you swallow something and it like gets caught, like kind of in your throat.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
And you know you can usually clear it, or it'll start to give you like hiccups or shit like that. I started having that happen, and then I tried to swallow, like drink some water to wash it down, but it didn't. So then I just had a blockage with water on top of it, and like violently hiccuping, and I'm like blah blah blah. We're at a bowling alley. I had to run over and spit out everything in the trash can because I thought I was going to die. And it's at a little cousin's birthday party. I'm like running over to the trash can. It looks like I'm vomiting.
You have that moment where you're just like, oh, well, this is how it fucking ends. Choking on a chicken tender at a little kid's birthday party. This is fucking it. It's not a hail of gunfire. It's not a massive heart attack after years of eating like an asshole.
It's not a tactical missile strike.
It's not a tactical missile strike from North Korea. It's a fucking chicken tender. I'm gonna die on a bowling alley floor.
Oh, of all the places to die, that's pretty bad.
Oh. You know what the scary part is? I feel like that's how most people die. Most people don't die in some like heroic or even like brave fashion. I think most people die in like a car wreck on the way to 7-Eleven to buy a taquito or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I think most people are just fucking sad.
Sitting on a bed in like your 80s, just shitting yourself and like dying in your sleep. It was like that was exciting.
you think like every day after you hit like 75 you start to just like every night when you close your eyes you feel like you're rolling the dice a little bit.
It's like, is tonight the night? Who knows? Tune in next morning, and then
you open your eyes and you feel like you won
or lose depending
on your outlook.
Oh man, I'm gonna be that way. I'm gonna get in my 80s and just be like, God, just take me now. Just let me die.
Everybody I know, like everybody I knew, like in their 20s, all the guys I knew would always be like, man, when I'm in my like 80s, I'm not gonna fucking sit around in a retirement home. Like I'm gonna rob banks and shit. Like I'm just gonna sit around and smoke cigarettes and drink all day and just shoot at cops. Like everybody was like, I'm not gonna go out like that. I'm not gonna go out in a retirement home. I think that will just like goes out of you though, because nobody does that. The ones I'm full of grandpas shooting places up.
Because life is crippling. Daily life is just it just smothers you. It's like you just, after 80 years of that, you're just like, I'm just gonna die right here.
Fuck it. Nobody's got time for that.
On the toilet or whatever. Go out like Elvis. At least you can say that. Just have a fucking aneurysm while taking a shit.
You know what sounds better than dying in a bank robbery? Playing Will I Wake Up Again Tonight roulette every night when I go to bed.
It's the most boring, slow version of roulette you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what it's more like craps. It's like, will it come up sevens, every time.
But of course, the current climate we live in leaves so many a myriad of ways that
everybody kind of plays that game every night, don't they?
Yeah, you're like, oh, I wonder if I'm gonna get struck by a missile in Hawaii or whatever. So it happened to Japan now too. Everybody's getting warnings for missile strikes.
Hawaiians and the Japanese get imminent. The one for Hawaii said something like imminent ballistic missile threat. Like, not like, hey, we think maybe there's a missile on the way. Hey, there's something unidentified. Like, that text seemed really specific. Like, hey, we're totally sure what this is.
Well, did you hear how it works?
I did. I saw the screenshot of the system today.
It's like a Windows 3.1 drop down menu with two options of like missile strike warning and test missile strike warning.
Yeah, like several options later, they're like not right next to one another either. Like they're just like, it is the worst system ever. And that's amazing that you can, text 200,000 people that they're gonna die with the click of a mouse.
And seriously, why don't you have like a confirm? Like, are you sure you want to scare the shit out of an entire state? Yeah, click yes for no.
I guess I get it. You're right. There should be like a little like, hey, this is like the real one, not the test. Are you sure? Probably would have been there. On the other hand, I don't want 46 layers of, are you sure? Are you sure? Hey, let's get your boss's permission. Let's get the governor's permission to send this text out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but one. Are you sure? Yeah. That's all you needed. That's all. That would have stopped this, because he would have been like, that doesn't normally come up. Oh, shit. And then all of Hawaii doesn't collectively shit their pants.
I haven't heard any good ones yet. I saw a Reddit thread that started the other day, but nobody had any like good answers. The question was, what was the dumbest thing somebody did when they thought that there was definitely an intercontinental ballistic nuclear missile headed their way? Somebody took their dick out in front of somebody pissed on their boss, somebody fucked somebody they weren't supposed to. Some dumb shit went down, right? Like, definitely.
Oh, those were just your thoughts of what people might have done?
No, I don't know that any of those happened, but I assume that at least some of them happened.
Well, because the most like regular one that I saw was where a guy made a video for his family because he thought he was going to die.
Oh, that's just sad.
And I guess he did like a Facebook Live or something like that. And he was on the golf course when it started happening. And he's like, well, I'm just going to keep playing and go out playing golf. And that's fucking gangster, man. You just accept your fate. You're like, fuck it. I'm going to get one more hole in before this hits. Like,
can you imagine if we had video of some guy out on a Hawaiian golf course just, banging golf balls, and all of a sudden that fucking mushroom cloud pops up in the background, he'd be the most famous fucking guy in the history of forever.
That'd be fucking nuts.
I mean, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But he'd be cemented in world history.
Yeah.
If it was like selfie pose, like out on the golf course, like peace sign, thermonuclear missile cloud.
That would be the picture they would show too. It was like in full like Facebook Live staring selfie at the camera.
He wouldn't be in history books. He'd be on the fucking cover of history books.
Did you see the video of where the guys were robbing a convenience store and a security guard comes in? And
I saw it. And he like shoots one of the guys, and the guys have a fake gun. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. And he's like, the guy's like, no, it's cool. It's fake. It's fake. He's like, okay, mine's real. And then shoots the other guy.
Is there sound to that video?
Yeah.
It came up on Facebook and it was playing, and I thought there was sound, so I saved it for later, but I watched it on mute. And the crazy thing is, like, you can just see the guy, because he stands him up at some point. He's like standing there. I assume he's gonna call the cops, and you can just see the blood like spreading on his arm through his jacket.
Fucking nuts, man. I don't think. How do you do something like that calmly? Like, that guy's been in the reverse position before. He's definitely held up some banks or something.
Right. Yeah, that's it. You've done it. You've pointed a gun at somebody a bunch of times. That's how you do it. Like, that is not the first individual he shot. It's probably not the fifth individual that he shot. He's just really comfortable shooting people.
He's like, I just do the security thing on the weekends. I mainly rob people.
Yeah.
That reminds me, I saw just before we went on, there was a robbery in Baltimore at like a corner 7-Eleven or something. I didn't take a second to figure out where it was or whatever.
Right.
But the so the guys go in with guns and rob the store, and I don't know if the guy tripped the silent alarm or whatever, or cops just happen to be nearby, but like 3 cops go to come in as the robbers are coming out, and they get in a gunfight. And I don't know if one of the cops was struck, but they all like scattered off, and then the guys run out the front door and get away.
Jesus.
How do you fucking shoot at cops? There's more than the 3 that you see there, and they just run off into the streets and nobody gets them. Like,
and let's face it, these days you get fucking shot for looking at one of them crooked, let alone shooting at them.
Yeah, just the one time they're justified in shooting at somebody, and they miss their opportunity.
What would happen if what do you think would happen if cops could call in like airstrikes, like you could like back in Vietnam, like, you know, like just calling a helicopter with a rocket launcher on it and just destroy 7-Elevens.
I mean, that's one way to deal with it. That might curb crime a little bit.
Right? You just have one cop on the top of headquarters with like a mortar.
You're just calling in coordinates.
Yeah. Thunk.
Yeah.
Nope. That was 3 houses over.
I've always been the type where it's like, I seriously daydream. Like, if I'm at the bank, I definitely daydream that somebody's going to come in and try to rob it, and I get to fucking wreck somebody.
Oh, I think everybody does. I think that's like a normal, like, you just like everywhere, like literally everywhere I go, like, what happens if this place.
Doing the other part of your double. I don't know if you already did.
I think it's like a 1.5 because there's still a lot of Fireball left in here, but.
Cheers.
Now the last half may not be budgeted for.
Whoops.
We're gonna cut it tight today.
Fuck it don't matter. So what else stupid is going on? So kids are eating Tide Pods.
Yeah, so
Darwinism is all a lie now. We've just circumvented natural selection, clearly.
So I started to read an article, and it like had this like interesting like progression of like. So the first one of these kind of viral challenges that I remember was the gallon challenge, which
like
relates back.
gallon?
What's that? Yeah, right. Like I remember that. Like that goes back to like that was even pre-Jackass, right? Like that was CKY2K, right?
Yeah, I mean that had to have been,
or maybe it was Jackass. Maybe it was like the first season of Jackass.
I bet you that was, it's almost 20 years ago now.
Right. Because like I remember seeing it high school, college, like it was right in that, like right in that area. And it was because I remember watching it, and one of them drank regular white, one of them drank chocolate, and one of them drank strawberry milk, right?
Ugh.
Yeah. It was fucking bad. But and I remember guys trying to replicate that challenge. That was the first challenge that I remember young kids, not young kids, but you know, teens, 20 somethings are really the problem here, I think. And then the cinnamon challenge was the next one that I remember being kind of viral. Easy to replicate.
I got Big Bear to do that at the bar. He's like, "There's no way. It's so easy to do." And I had the video of him just putting the cinnamon in his mouth, giving the thumbs up, and then you just see the look on his face turn as it's like he like just puckers up, and then he coughs, and I recorded it on iPhone so you could put it in slow-mo. So I put it in slow motion, and he looked like a dragon because there's just a little cloud of cinnamon. He's like,
yeah, because the problem is your body tries to kick it out that one time, right? You're like, but then you try to go, and then you're fucking doomed is the problem.
Yeah. And he had to fucking just cough it all up into the trash can.
Did you ever try it? Or you just got other people to try it? I never tried it either.
I never tried it.
I don't know whether it's the burning or the like, whether by breathing you naturally kind of take it into your lungs or what the deal is.
Apparently it just, you don't have enough like moisture in your mouth and it just clogs up.
Oh, and it just gets all dry and you just can't, it just absorbs all the moisture.
Yeah, you can't swallow it. So I imagine, I would think, now I won't try, but I would think that if you like built up enough saliva first and tried, I feel like that would be enough to negate it, but who knows?
Try it now. You gotta have cinnamon upstairs.
Nope, no cinnamon.
Christina has cinnamon in the house.
We do have cinnamon. I'm not doing the cinnamon challenge.
But I mean, you build up enough saliva beforehand. How hard can it be?
I just said I'm not trying. I'll do the vodka challenge. Oh wait, do you remember the?
You're doing that right now.
Yeah. Do you remember the Patron challenge? It was
that where you chugged one of those? I don't know what it is. It's not a liter. It's like the little Patron sized bottle. I don't know what that is. Is it a quart? It's more than a quart.
It's a 750.
Is it a 750? It's just like a funny shape.
Yeah, the shape.
Okay, so it was chugging a 750 milliliter Patron,
a whole bottle of Patron.
And
then there's videos going around now of people trying to do Hennessy challenge, but there's like people faking it and shit.
Yeah, you can see it's like apple juice.
Yeah, like I don't remember Hennessy having bubbles in it.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking twat.
They also said that there was a challenge where teenagers doused themselves in rubbing alcohol and set themselves on fire. I don't remember that being like Kentucky teen gets burned after mimicking fire challenge he saw online. Jeez. And there's apparently a salt and ice challenge. Did you hear about that one?
A what?
So apparently they if you put salt in your hand and then you hold ice, it'll burn your hand.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah.
So that's apparently a thing that happened. And then throwing boiling water on unsuspecting people, that doesn't sound like a challenge. That just sounds like
fucking being an asshole.
Yeah. No, that's fucking terrible. Jesus.
The fuck kind of world we live in? People eating Tide Pods and shit.
I can't watch that one. Yeah, so what are they doing now? Are they just like fucking biting into Tide Pods? Is that the problem here? Like,
yeah, that's like the only part of the challenge. They record themselves biting a Tide Pod.
I mean, yeah, it's fucking. It seems intensely dumb because it's really dangerous. Although, I guess if you want to do it and die that way, and you're like over like I don't know what. 12 if you're a teenager, 13 if you're over 13.
I
You're gonna die
figured-
eating a Tide Pod. Like, I'm kind of down with that.
I'm okay. I say keep doing it. You
Yeah.
want to eat it? You want to eat a Tide Pod? Go ahead.
You're not cool if you
Doctor,
don't do the Tide
lawyers,
Pod challenge.
Yeah, we're losing like, oh, it might take a little longer to get your order at McDonald's because Billy didn't make it in today. But we're not losing the best and brightest to the Tide Pod challenge.
Right?
So just say that.
Holy shit. Okay. So the US Poison Control Center keeps track of how many reports they got of children. This isn't teens. This isn't the challenge. This is children who were exposed to the Tide Pods last year. How many do you think that was? How many kids got into Tide Pods?
Wait, like last year?
Last year.
100.
Nice try. Add a 0 to that.
Really?
And then another 0 to that. It's 10,500 fucking children.
Where are people storing these?
Right? Toy boxes. In their children's rooms in the bottom drawers.
Well, yeah, like, because I could understand. I mean, they're little shiny, like candy size looking things.
Yeah.
So I could see kids, but I did see. I don't know what the numbers were, but apparently they're already well on their way because of this challenge of hitting those numbers of last year's numbers already. So
Jesus.
So apparently enough people have tried the Tide Pod challenge. I doubt anybody's died, so that's a shame.
They had, so this was towards the end of 2017, there were 220 teens who were reportedly exposed, and a quarter of those were admittedly intentional. So about 50, 60 teenagers had to call poison control after doing the Tide Pod challenge.
We have to raise kids in this fucking world.
Yeah, apparently we have to raise, like, my brain saw that number and I was like, there are 10,000 kids in the world. And then, you know, of course there are 10,000 kids in the world, but like, that's a fucking huge number. There's so many shitty parents in the world.
There really are.
I guess it's better to let your child have Tide Pods than to chain him to his bed until he's 25 years old.
29, I believe it was.
Yeah, fuck. What the fuck is that? I keep like trying to make sense of that story, and I can't.
So where was it? California? Something? I don't know why I just automatically jumped to California.
No, that sounds about right to me, and I don't remember where exactly it was. That's a good.
Well, so for anybody that hasn't heard, it's two parents with their 12 kids, I think it is.
13. The 13th escaped. There were 12 left behind.
Yeah, let that sink in. That somebody had to escape. But I think it was ranging from ages 2 to 29.
2 to 29, Southern California. This it's totally fucked up. I don't know what the fuck happened. Like,
the whole family.
The dad was like an engineer, made a bunch of money.
Huh. They were like so malnourished they were being mistaken for like younger children.
Yeah, the one that escaped. Jesus Christ, the one that escaped was, I don't know how old that one was.
I think what I saw was 17, but the police thought she was 10.
She was 10. Yeah. Like they're not eating or anything like that. And these children have been chained up their whole lives. Like apparently just like a few years ago, all the children were like, these two psychopaths renewed their vows and all of the children were there. And the neighbor was like, wow, all those children look really like skinny and malnourished, but you know, teach their own, I guess. Like nobody saw this like coming or happening or anything like that. Like, I guess they just went crazy. I guess they were running their own homeschool, which I'm always a little bit suspect of, but
I always feel like, I don't know, in my experience, every homeschooled person that I've met or known somebody that does homeschooling, it's always been stupid people. I assume that is not the norm. That can't possibly be the norm. But I always find that it's stupid people that are homeschooling their kids. It's like, how did you get some sort of like? I assume you have to go to some sort of class to be able to even do homeschooling, right? Otherwise, it's like child endangerment.
It depends on where you are. It depends on the state. Like there are some states where like you have to be a quote unquote certified teacher, which may or may not be challenging. But there are some states where I think you could just say like, my house is a school. Like, come at me, bro. And like, you can give out high school diplomas. Like you could do that in Maryland. Like if your parent got certified as a teacher, they could give out high school diplomas. And furthermore, if you were high school like nearby, like we went to Severna Park High School, right? Mm-hmm. If you went to homeschool near Severna Park High School and you said your kid quote unquote graduated, you could get them a high school diploma from Severna Park High School.
Really? That's insane.
Yeah. So like, because no college is going to take like a diploma from mom's high school, right? So you get to like link it into the local high school.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but
no, it doesn't. How fucked up is that? Like you could have just hung out with your mom for 12 years and gotten the same, diploma that anybody else did.
Because I mean, I've always argued that you learn. I mean, you get the topics at school, but you learn at home. Like, I mean, generally speaking, it's like you learn a lot more from your family and everything than you do schools. I think that's part.
It depends. I think there's a lot of things you learn at home. Like I didn't learn like fucking math at home. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you. Well, I never learned math, but
well,
I'm not saying that it. That's what I mean by the topic. So it's like you're given a baseline of study and all that stuff, but very rarely do you find somebody that has deviated from their social track. So it's like if you have educated parents, you will likely continue that tradition and be an educated person. And the opposite is also true. Yeah. And I think it doesn't matter. Like you can dump all the money you want into schools and stuff, but if you don't have that support at home, it's like people are just fucked. That's probably why people are eating Tide Pods.
So my favorite related story. So I went down years ago. I was in my early 20s, and I went down to Florida to visit. I went to go see a football game. Maryland played Florida State. And I visited a friend who lived down there. I want to say Tampa Bay area. Anyway, we went and we hung out with him one night, and we met a bunch of his friends, and we were hanging out at somebody's apartment, just kind of chilling, drinking beers. And we were talking to this girl who was super kind of whacked. And we knew that, and that was totally fine. And it came up in conversation that she was homeschooled. And so she's going on and on about how her mom taught her this and taught her that, and like what was the local high school going to give her? And she literally says the phrase, "Look, I was homeschooled and I turned out just fine." And then immediately bends over and takes a giant rip from a gravity bong. And that and that image, not that I have any problem with marijuana or whatever marijuana smoking devices you want to, use, but just that juxtaposition of like, oh, I was homeschooled and I turned out just fine. Out of like, not just like a pipe or even like just a regular bong. Like this is something somebody had to construct using like a tub and a bucket and a water and it was a whole fucking thing. Right, some planning. Somebody had to MacGyver together this shit.
So it's funny you mentioned that. So I got a big boy job at a physical therapy place, and same.
You can just say hand jobs.
Yeah, it's mainly hand jobs. I go cross country skiing daily. Just skiing.
2 at a time.
Yep.
4 at a time. 2 in front, 2 in back.
It's all about it's efficiency. It's all about efficiency.
All right, go ahead. Sorry.
So in the same, like, I don't know, medical park or whatever, they just opened one of the marijuana dispensaries that have been popping up around Maryland.
Are those like they're like up and legal now? I thought they kind of got like cock blocked. Are they can you go there and
Yeah, I mean, people. I actually know a couple of people that have started working for them.
So I haven't been there yet. Is it like medical marijuana, or is it like California where it was like medical marijuana for like 10 years?
I mean, you can definitely tell that both are going on there. So
okay, all right.
So I talked to one person that works at the one right there, and she said that all these people are coming in with, different afflictions that couldn't be fixed with regular medicine and treatment, and marijuana has either like at least eased pain or that sort of thing, and it's pretty impressive. And they said their average client age is like in the 40s.
Interesting.
So, which I thought that was the most interesting part, because I just figured it'd be a bunch of fucktard stoners. Like,
so
yeah, man, I have anxiety. Let me hit that bowl.
So how much of this do you think, like, because I read a lot of that stuff. Like, I read a lot of this, like I legitimately think that marijuana can be used in a lot of positive ways. Like, I think it's probably a good, like, appetite.
Stimulate
your appetite. Might be a good, like, keep you from feeling nausea, anti-nausea. It might, like,
I could see, sleep aid.
Yeah,
sure. Some of that stuff, but some stuff, it's just silly.
Right, there's a line there, right? And like I guess that's what I was getting at, is like the marijuana industry, not necessarily the industry, but like people who are fans of marijuana maybe are doing that whole industry a disservice by saying like it cures leukemia and cancer, and all you got to do is like fucking get some, cannabinoids in you, and you'll be fucking running ultra marathons by the end of the week. I don't know what percentage of it all is bullshit these days. You know what I mean?
I think a large portion of it is bullshit, but I don't care, because I don't think it should be illegal in the first place.
I'm with you. Yeah. Okay. No, I'm there.
Because I mean, so for example, like I said, the physical therapy place and the marijuana place are in, down the hall from each other.
Okay.
So we had two guys that rolled in, maybe early 20s. I mean, they looked like people that smoked marijuana.
We're looking for the dispensary, right?
Yeah. And they came into our place and were asking about it, because I saw them walking in and I was like, that doesn't look like the normal clientele here.
Yo, dude, my back really hurts bad. Like, you got something that'll help me? And you're like, yeah, physical therapy for $400 an hour. Like, come right on back.
Yeah. And so not only that, but after these guys walk out, we realize that they have sort of wafted a cloud of marijuana smoke with them. So the whole like entryway to our area and the hallway that connects the two areas just reeked of weed the rest of the day.
Oh my God, that bad, huh?
And I feel like I wonder what do they have to do? Can the dispensary look at these guys and be like, this is obviously bullshit, and turn them away? Or like, I wonder how that works. Because if it's like some 70-year-old woman, she has glaucoma and she needs marijuana for that, yeah, that makes sense. I think just off of principle, I would turn away the stoners.
Right.
Just go buy it on the street like a normal person.
California, no, you know what? I get that. California started like that, right? Like, you get medical marijuana, and like, you had to go to a doctor and they had to prescribe it to you, and then eventually,
doctor.
Right. Yeah, eventually, like there were just guys. Their whole practice was just giving out medical marijuana prescriptions, right? Like you just went in, you paid your $50, and you're like, "Oh, my fucking head hurts sometimes," and they're like, "You know what you need? Weed," and they'd write you your script, and you take it next door. And then eventually, the dispensary started having doctors on site and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, like, where on that scale Maryland is at the moment.
It's
We have a
early stages.
We have a mutual friend. He's been on the show. Fuck it, it's Jay.
I was just gonna bring that up.
So like he posts a lot of this stuff about how weed helps medical problems. One of the things I find interesting about Jay's like the photos he posts, he'll post photos of shit on Facebook and Instagram that like I don't even know what they are. And like I'll have to like read the comments. And I'm like, oh, that's, fucking weed wax or whatever it is you dab or whatever it is those crazy kids are doing these days.
You sound so old and white right now.
I watched one of my friends dab one time, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He's got this fucking contraption that looks like a goddamn steam engine or something.
Like,
like,
is that black tar heroin? What
can't you just fucking smoke weed anymore? Is that not enough? Smoke more weed. That's the cool thing about weed. Like, what's the fucking...
Yeah, I actually look, because he followed the podcast Instagram, and I didn't recognize the name, so I went to it, and I was looking at his page, and I could tell after a little bit that it was all weed related, but I had no idea. It just looked like green snot and like
yeah, it looks like earwax smeared on a piece of paper, and I'm always like, what the fuck is that? But like people are like into that. Like you read through the comments and people are like, that shit looks good. I'm like, what the fuck, are you looking at the same thing I'm looking at?
And it makes me think of when we were younger, and the whole thing was everybody's like, why can't, like, old stoners are just like, man, why can't people just smoke a joint?
Right,
like,
yeah.
Like it used to be. And now we look at it, it's like, what the hell is wrong with just a pipe or a bong?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers do we have to vape everything? Like, Jesus Christ.
Just go get yourself an 18-inch water bong. It's no fucking big deal. Like,
I turned out just fine.
I had a friend who used to carry his bong in a fucking nylon case with a strap that he carried around his shoulder.
Is it who I think it is?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Oh man, if it's who I think. The last time I saw him, and he gave me a ride from one place to another, and I got in his car, I was like, "How are you not arrested every day?" I got in his car, and it just smelled like
right.
And we were at a bar for like 3 hours, and I went out and got in his car, and it reeked of weed. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how do you not get pulled over for a traffic stop and then immediately go to jail?
Right. Yeah, exactly. You just don't get pulled over for a traffic stop. You drive everywhere at, 19 miles an hour and nobody pulls you over.
I like the way, I like that the world is starting to trend towards legalization, because I think it needs to happen. I think it'll solve a lot of smaller issues. I think the whole prison system and a lot of those issues will be fixed by, I'm not saying you got to deal with everything, but just at least marijuana.
Yeah, the problem is, and I got this the other day, like the everybody's like, oh, the path to heroin starts at marijuana. And the truth of the matter is, these days, the path to heroin starts at prescription drug abuse, right?
Yeah.
Like fucking getting your hands on painkillers and stuff like that. Those are the people.
That's the actual gateway drug.
That's right. That's right. But nobody wants to say that, because I'll put on my fucking tinfoil hat, right? Like, nobody's going to say that because all the big drug companies make this stuff, and they don't want senators being like, prescription drug abuse is at an all-time high. We need to lock this shit down.
Your puppy just popped up in the background there.
Yeah. Is he over there? Can you see him? Yeah, he's fucking hanging out over there. Oh, he's behind the monitor now.
Yeah, he was all of a sudden. I happened to glance over and I saw it was sticking above the fucking monitor. Oh, maybe I should go get poor Frank out of
Like not quite
Auschwitz.
there. Oh, get Frank out of Auschwitz. Yeah, he's just hanging out. He's just gonna chill on the sofa, bleed all over it because he's bleeding out of his mouth because he's teething right now.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. He had so he's a big dog, right? So he gets he's got big teeth even for puppy teeth. So he had a tooth that was like, I don't know, half-inch long that just like fell out of his mouth yesterday. It's this big gaping hole. It's terrifying.
Ugh.
Yeah. Welcome to my life.
Fuck all that shit. I don't know if we've talked about this, but this just made me think of it. Can people that refer to their pets as fur babies kindly fuck off? I've owned multiple dogs and cats. I still have my one cat. He's awesome. It's not my kid. It's not even close to a kid. I try. There's a lot of connection to your pets, but you didn't make that pet. Like,
I like to think that I felt this way before I had kids. It's hard to say because your brain gets fucked up when you have kids, right? Like you don't remember things exactly right anymore. Like when, you get ready to have a second kid and you're like, how much fucking harder could it be? Like, it wasn't that hard the first time. Like, it seemed hard, but it wasn't that hard. And then the second kid comes along and you're like, oh no, I was wrong. I remembered it badly because evolution wanted me to have more kids. It was really fucking hard. But before I had kids, I like to think that I thought it was weird that people referred to and pretended like their pets were kids. It's weird. And I should
clarify. I don't actually have a problem with the term fur babies or people saying, they're like my kids or whatever because they don't want to have kids.
Okay,
that's fine. But the people that try to say that they're equal, they're fucking not. They just are not.
Yeah, and then I saw somebody earlier today in a thread that I was looking at, and I forget what it was about, but like they tried to create equal terms for pets and kids, and they were just like, oh, like fur babies versus huma babies, to put them on equal terms.
Yeah, those are just called babies.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I don't want to belittle people who have a connection with their pets.
I do.
Just stop with the weird fucking terms and fucking. It's weird. It's stop.
Yeah, that's all I'm getting at. Just everybody, shut the fuck up.
I love my dogs. I loved my dog long before I had kids. I loved him more than anything. You can have love for your dog without like pretending it's a child. That's what I'm getting at. That's where I'm trying to go.
And your family is serious about their pets. Like,
yeah, they always have been. I'm not saying that a dog is less than a child. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when you try to pretend like it's a child, that's when it gets weird. Sorry, I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. Fuck your pets. Last whole podcast.
Fuck you and your pets.
And then while we're on that topic, when it sounds so bad, but it's like we need some sort of screening process for people having children.
That's a good idea. What would you put on that test?
I don't know. Have you ever eaten a Tide Pod?
Yeah, that's like an instant disqualifier.
That would be like, you remember when you worked at a GameStop and you fill out the application?
Yep.
And there was that last page where it said tear off page, or I don't even remember what it said, but the point was it was like a final test of just.
Oh, can you like read instructions like tear off this last page and don't hand it in? Yeah. Do you remember we were in? I don't remember if you were in the class. This was probably elementary school. It was like 5th grade. And
about fill out everything.
Yeah, it was like you got a test and it was like 20 questions and it was like read through all of the instructions before you start. Read every question before you start this test. And you're like, yeah, okay, yeah. You read through it. And then number 2 was like, write your name at the bottom of this test. Number 3, write your name at the side. Number 4, raise your hand into the air. Number 5, say your name out loud. Number 6, say that you're on number 6. And so you could start to tell how far people were in the quiz. And you started to get anxious about like, why am I so far behind? Oh, they're clearly way down. And then you get to number 20 and it's like, oh, if you're reading this, don't follow any of these instructions. The fucking, turn your paper over and shut the fuck up.
I don't remember what class it was, but it was something similar to that, but it didn't have the out loud stuff.
Oh,
and it had like a bunch of simple questions or whatever, like you were filling out a form or whatever. And you'd get to the end and it would say, don't follow any of this, just turn in your paper. And just as time went on, you just hear people start furiously erasing because they'd written all over it, and they're like, oh, I didn't do that.
No, what's on the can you have kids test? Is it like
I'd probably be really strict. I don't know what kind of qualifiers I'd do, but it would probably be pretty strict because I hate everything. We know that, but
can a baby eat Fruit Loops? At what age can you leave a child at home alone while you go out to the club and get your drink on?
Like, are you bothered by this question?
Right.
Just I don't know. There's enough people I meet every day where I'm like, I don't know how you made it through keeping yourself alive on a daily basis, and then those people have children. I'm like, it's no wonder this world's so fucking stupid. It's a never-ending cycle. Just stupid breeds more stupid. We're living in idiocracy. Like, these are the first stages. We're gonna be eating at butt fuckers in no time.
Right. So it's like Hitler time, right? Like it's time to like get rid of the dummies, right? Like it's like
eugenics time. Is that insensitive to have like an idiot Holocaust?
Probably.
Yeah.
It depends on who wins the idiot Holocaust. I think who
gets to determine. I think that's what makes it super insensitive.
I mean, if the idiots win, then yes. No, because in 40 years there won't be history books because the idiots will win. But if you win,
we'll be lucky we make it another 3.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's time. The Tide Pod challenge maybe somebody's already working on the idiot Holocaust. Where do you think all these challenges come from? The throw boiling water at your friends contest. This is fucking somebody's working on this shit already.
Yeah, it's like Operation Thin the Herd.
Yeah. What's next? The make a pipe bomb in your garage and throw it at your parents challenge.
I love Bill Burr's sketch set where he talks about how he just thinks you need to kill off like half the population, and it's like because you'd be able to just have lanes opening up on the freeway, like everyone could be in the Super Bowl. Everyone could go to the Super Bowl. Half of you could play.
Yeah, no, I'm at this point, I'm down for it. Like, I don't know what the deciding factor is, but like, let's thin the herd a little bit. We need some hyenas in our life. We need not hyenas. We need some fucking lions in our life. We need something's gonna pick off the stupid ones.
Oh yeah, take the weak ones out of the herd. This is the modern equivalent of thinning the herd. I think these challenges. Someone's introducing these to let's just wipe it, like thin it out a little bit in the Midwest, and just.
Yeah. I need to find the secret group of smart people who are like camping this thing out in.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, no, I'm not fucking around. Like, is it the Illuminati? I'm in. I don't care who it is. Illuminati, fucking, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Sacrifice goats.
Whatever it takes, man. I don't give a shit. Just
give a rich old guy a hand job. If you can just get me in whatever castle you've got where you're just hiding for the stupid people apocalypse, I'm fucking in on that.
I mean,
or do I need to start one?
Man, I'm sitting here giving these hand jobs for $10 an hour.
Yeah,
I need it on the Illuminati.
I feel like this is where it begins. The seed is planted on this podcast, and 10 years from now, we're operating our own, cruise ship in the middle of nowhere. How come no millionaires have commissioned an oil tanker to be turned into a yacht?
I'm surprised nobody's done that and turned it into, like, take like one of those oil rigs.
Yeah.
Why hasn't anybody done that and turned it into a resort?
Fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd go to one of those.
If I was a millionaire, I guess you'd have to be a billionaire for that kind of thing, huh?
To turn an oil rig into a resort?
Well, yes. Unless maybe you had, maybe if you were a billionaire or a millionaire because of oil and you already had connections.
Oh, you got an oil rig. You're just like, shut that shit down.
You're like, that one's getting old. Let's throw a roller coaster on that bitch.
Sir, it's almost brand new. Get off it.
Or just have, they're in the back, drilling for oil or whatever. And then the front side of your mechanical island is full on resort, 5-star resort.
Did you see Elysium?
No. Is that the Matt Damon one?
Yeah, super cool.
Matt Damon.
Super cool concept that kind of collapses halfway because they don't really have a good thing to do. But that's the dark secret behind Elysium is Matt Damon's parents loved reality television. That's why he got left behind on shit Earth and he didn't get to go to the Halo in the sky.
Oh, that's the basis behind it? They leave all the
Yeah. Elysium is this like ring world thing that's in orbit around Earth that you have to be super rich to live on.
I feel like movies and TV are touching on these disturbingly real topics. If you really think about it. I mean, all these like dystopian futures, I feel like we're so much closer than we've ever been to living those right now.
The guys, this shit ain't funny anymore. Fucking Idiocracy is losing its appeal. It was way funnier 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's slowly becoming a documentary.
Right.
Fuck this world. What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. We should not be bringing kids up here. We need to be working on building Elysium. That's what we need to be doing. But
I need to find a way to befriend Elon Musk because that motherfucker's got it figured out.
Oh, that's because he is an actual goddamn alien.
I think he might be.
Or like from the future or something. That'd be pretty rowdy. He's from Mars in the future, I bet. That's what it is. He's not a Martian. He's a human from Mars in the future. So he's just coming back in time to get his own shit started.
Where are you from? Mars, but I mean, like, California originally.
What's up, Jack? So one more thing while this is topical, and then I think we can get to Would You Rather. I don't remember what time we started tonight. So let's talk about the Aziz Ansari accusations.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that.
I want to start with saying that I'm a big fan of his. I struggle a lot with this, like, when like a big star gets accused of something. Chris Brown's a great example, right? Chris Brown like clearly beat the fuck out of Rihanna. But like he's got this whole ocean of fans who will defend him to the death, and they'll just say whatever, fucking she deserved it, or he didn't really do it, or like she beat herself up on the steering wheel. I don't fucking know, but like he can do no wrong, right? It's like I've been trying to keep an eye out for that in my own life. Like, who are these people where if they got accused of something, I'm like, nah, he probably didn't really do that, right?
So first off, I hate those kinds of people where they really are diehard.
Right.
I don't understand that. I don't feel that kind of loyalty towards anything that's not directly connected to my life.
I get it, but like it happened to me with like Louis C.K., right? Like the accusations about Louis C.K. came out. I'm a big fan of Louis C.K. and a lot of stuff that he did. And I heard initially what he did. I'm like, nah, I don't think I believe this shit. And there's no reason for me to not believe it or to believe that that didn't happen, but the Kevin Spacey shit did. Well, it turns out it did happen. Like he's a piece of shit. Like I just didn't believe it because I liked him.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to like.
Yeah, I think I might.
Keep
I might, write off the apology somewhat. So where, so I don't know. You want to give a rundown of the Aziz
Ansari thing?
Yeah. Just
so a young woman met him on an off chance, and they agreed to go to dinner. I want to give an unbiased version of this, and they went on a date where he cut dinner very short in the interest of getting her, according to her, he cut dinner very short in the interest of getting her back to his apartment. And in getting back to the apartment and being back at the apartment, he was very pushy with sex. He did some weird stuff. Not like super weird, but just kind of weird and pushy. She never said no, but she was a little lukewarm on the whole thing. Like he pointed his dick and she went down on him, but like then didn't feel good about it. And like they kind of did this back and forth for what sounds like the better part of an evening. I don't think they ever actually had sex, and she bailed before that happened.
Yeah.
The next day she decided she wasn't happy with the way the date went, and texted him and said, "Hey, you made me feel really uncomfortable. Here's what you did that was shitty." And then she wrote this big long piece about what he did, framing it as inappropriate sexual conduct.
So I think what's really interesting about it. So I imagine most people, guy or girl, have been on one side or the other of that sort of exchange where like one person is more interested than the other, and
sure,
and it's one person's trying to nudge the other one way, and another person's trying to like no, like I personally think that's different than sexual assault. Is it bad? Yes. Was he creepy? Yes. Was it the wrong thing to do? Yes. Was it sexual assault? I don't think so. I mean, even from her account, from what I heard, she initiated everything and was excited about it. And like you said, they performed oral sex on each other.
Right.
And then he was pushing to, round third and come home. And she was like, no. And he's like, come on. She's like, no. And then leaves. And then I think she regretted that it went to third, because that's a little more regrettable. Like if you made out with somebody or whatever, I guess that's not that big of a deal. But, once I personally, I think unless that person is a total fucking rapist and is like forcing you to do something, I don't understand how that breaks down. Like, how do you blow someone and then say it's sexual assault? I feel like I feel bad that it's like I'm being insensitive to something, but I just don't understand it. I've been on the receiving end of that sort of thing where it's like I've been pressured into stuff that I didn't want to do, and then I was just like, fuck. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if it happened at a different time, I would look at it differently. But
I've also I look back in my younger days. I mean, I haven't been single for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But like I think back to being a teenager, and you know, the kind of shit I said and did to try and get a girl to touch my dick was pretty atrocious. Like,
So here's one thing that I'll say that
manipulative would be the word I would use.
right. The one thing that works way against him is the fact that he's like, I think he's like early 30s.
Yes, he's not 19.
You should be able to fucking read a woman's body language by then. If she doesn't want to do anything, you should be able to tell. And he should have backed off.
Here's the thing. So I think the game of please, can I fuck you? No. Please, no. Please, no. Please, no. Please, no. That's a game that's as old as time, right? And that game either ends, please, okay, or please, no, firm no, stop asking, right? Like, that's a game that I think is normal and played, right? I think where you step across the line is where you say please and she says no and you fucking do it anyway.
Yeah. That is so clearly sexual assault. And
that's the line, and that's the line that wasn't crossed here.
And that's what I worry.
I wasn't there.
I think that's the hardest thing to talk about. This is like where we weren't there. We don't know what, and thank God, because I don't want to see that shit. But
see Aziz Ansari's dick. I can't be.
He's like, Randy.
There's no way it's fucking girthy and attractive. Like, it's a fucking horrible dick.
God.
I love Aziz. He has a terrible dick, I'm sure.
Probably look like just like tiny and creepy, just like him.
If I was her, I would regret sucking it too.
Yeah. So I mean, she probably made the right decision. I think the thing that makes it seem odd is that the fact that she went to a publication and made something of it. I think it's right to regret or even confront. Oh, and I forgot to mention the big portion of it is the fact that he texts her the next day and was like, hey, I'd like to see you again sometime, yada, all that stuff. And she was like, no, you crossed the line. I don't like how everything went down. And he was like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it happened like that. That was not my intention. I apologize. And,
right.
And it was I'm paraphrasing, but
yeah, but it was something along those lines.
Yeah. And it sounded very sincere to me. That would be the other thing is if he did all that and was pushy, and then she said that and he was like, fuck you, bitch, you wanted it. Fuck him. That's different. That would be sexual assault. It's just, I feel like he's getting caught up in all the steam of all these very legit claims of sexual assault. And then
that's exactly it. Here's what I think happened.
He got sucked into the whirlpool with all these other like absolute fucking rapists and creepers.
So if you're even a moderately respectable reporter a year ago and your girlfriend goes out with an incredibly famous comedian and actor and has what amounts to a shitty date where he's pretty insistent that he wants to bang you and he's not super nice about it, like, you can't print that in a major publication. It's gossip at its best, right? Like, it's going to end up in the fucking supermarket countertop.
To be fair, I think that's essentially what the publication was that did this. I mean, it got picked up by everyone else, but I think it was like babe.com or something,
Okay, maybe you're right. You could be right. But I mean, the only reason we're talking about that is because of this modern climate, right? Like, where we're talking about sexual assault now. A year ago, this is a non-story. Like, I went out with Aziz Ansari. He cut dinner short. He tried to fuck me for 2 hours. He went down on me. I went down on him. I fucking hated it. I left in the middle of the day. Like, that doesn't make front page news. But now with all these guys, you know, now it's what is the stunt coordinator on fucking True Lies, you know.
What?
Yeah, apparently the stunt coordinator on True Lies, like what's her name? Elijah Dushku, who played the daughter and is now just like you know, smoking hot chick. She was 13 or 12 at the time. He had his way with her in a hotel room. Yeah, she was real young. Yeah. So that's the newest casualty of this whole thing. And Arnold Schwarzenegger had to weigh in. But yeah, no, it's totally fucked, and it creates this weird environment.
All right, so here, look, internets. Look, we have a small audience, but if somebody happens to stumble onto this, guys, stop being fucking creepy. Keep it in your pants. Just stop. Just stop.
What are you about to say? If it's gonna end up in a newspaper in 12 years, don't fucking say it. Stop grabbing, stop groping. Don't like I wish I could read the move that Aziz Ansari did again. Like he'd like reach down and he'd touch her between his legs, and put his fingers in his mouth, and put his fingers in her mouth, and then go back between her legs. Like he's in this whole fucking thing. It was really weird.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I didn't read that part. That sounds even more creepy.
Yeah, they had a name for it. What he did, I forget what it was. Yeah, it was
like really name for it. God, there's a fucking name for everything.
Yeah, I wish. I wish I could find it.
I changed my entire fuck you, Aziz. And your weird, creepy cock.
Yeah, I can't find it. I typed Aziz Ansari move into Google. It's not a thing yet.
I got Azized.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. That's good. Hey, can we do a would you rather? That sounds like more fun than sexual allegation talks.
Oh yeah, I'm depressed again. All right, so it begins. Would you rather have to swim a mile to save your life with a 20-pound weight tied to your waist, or with 5-pound weights tied to your wrists and ankles?
Ooh, interesting.
I feel like that's really obvious.
It's to your back, right? It's to your center of gravity.
Yeah. Tied to your waist.
Oh, tied to your waist. Oh, so it's still hanging down, but it's tied to your waist. Oof.
No. Here, hold on. Listen again.
Okay.
Have to swim a mile to save your life with a 20-pound weight tied to your waist, or 5-pound weights tied to your wrists and ankles.
So, I mean, it's the same amount of weight.
Same amount of weight, but now
but it's concentrated around your waist as opposed to spread between your arms and legs. I know you're still fighting the same amount of downward pressure. Concentrated right in the middle of your core. It's tough.
Oh, it's so much worse to have it on your limbs. That's how you're swimming. Think about how much harder it is to like you ever been painting?
No, yeah, you're right. Isometric sort of thing, yeah.
And just having your arm up. Now imagine doing that with an extra 5 pounds.
You ever had Frank Castle tie the end of a claymore mine to the end of your hand and then put a rock in your hand and talk about isometrics and then leave into the parking lot and have it explode into a skull-shaped fire?
I just happened to look over, and your video quality dropped to 1995 for a minute there.
Oh, noes. It looks okay to me. That doesn't mean it's...
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Am I back? Hooray!
I'm curious. We got to go back and look. I'm curious what that looks like. All right. So I think it's obvious. You take it around your core. And I can't swim for shit.
You're right.
Would you rather, in a permanent relationship, have the woman grow a penis or the man lose his penis? That's really tough. When I first glanced at it, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, I don't want
there's a lot of factors there.
I don't want her to have a penis. But then I thought about that means you have to lose yours.
If your wife grows a penis and you have to go down on her, are you gay now?
And is it sexual assault?
I mean, yes, is the obvious answer these days.
Yeah.
But you're not gay, but you do have to suck dick, which would be weird.
But it's like your wife's dick.
Yeah, but I still have to suck a dick, which is, again, weird. It's not a guy's dick, though. It's not attached to a dude. I don't know the answer to this question.
I don't either. This is the most torn I've been on one of these things.
Or
I feel like
has to go.
The worst thing you could have happen to you as a man is to lose your penis. And also the worst thing to happen to you as a straight man is to have to suck a dick.
I mean, she's going to want to put that dick somewhere, right? I mean, it may not end with your mouth.
All right. I think I'm going to lean towards losing mine.
Yeah, no, that's a fucking terrible question that should never be uttered again. I can't
believe I'm saying that.
Yeah, no, that's awful.
Ugh. I feel dirty.
No, yeah, I don't want to think about that anymore.
We're going to move on to the next one. Please. Would you rather chew on a pet cat's marble-sized hairball or chew on a large marble-sized wad of somebody's earwax?
Oof. Oof.
This was the one I thought sounded like other ones we've done.
Oh, that made me not feel good.
Yeah. Does that mix well with Fireball?
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna go
coin flip, right?
So what is chew? What like? Do you have to like eat it? What?
I imagine you need to break it down with your teeth into a. Maybe you got to chew it for 10 seconds, or a minimum number of chomps. I don't fucking know. But, like, there's a metric here for chewing, right? You can't just swallow it.
Ugh.
I don't know what either one tastes like. I don't know.
I'm really torn on this one, too.
This is awful. This is the worst card we've ever pulled.
Why did I have us start doing this shit?
I don't fucking know.
Why did I have to find this fucking game?
But I mean, this is definitely the worst card you've ever pulled. We've never done two back to back. I don't know.
Yeah, there's usually one where we're like, I really can't decide, and then it's like almost a flip of the coin.
Yeah,
we're like genuinely struggling on these.
No, yeah. What was the first one? The weights.
Yeah.
So the first one was the second two were horrible.
Yeah. Ugh.
What are we doing next? We're shooting my mom or my children? Is that what we're doing next?
Well, I'm gonna say earwax. Ugh.
I was gonna go hairball.
All right, we're split. Let's not discuss it any further.
Yeah, no, that's.
Would you rather, in your teenager's room, find a vial of cocaine or a gun?
Oh, we did something similar to this. About finding something in your teenager's room. Oh, it was unused condoms or
some sort of drug. Like, yeah, probably a vial of cocaine.
Yeah, it was because the other one was like something. Oh, it was like meth or something. Like it wasn't meth. Yeah, it was unused condoms or I forget what it was. Okay, so this time we're doing
a vial gun of cocaine or a gun. I say, I don't know, gun. That could be like a hobby or something.
You think he's taking it to the range?
Yeah.
Hopefully not the mall.
I mean, there are positive escape routes for a gun. There's no way to.
Are there a gun that your teenager's hiding in his room? I feel like that's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so I'll go with you on this. Like, you could maybe channel that into something like, okay, well, this is horrifying and you need to suffer the consequences, but let's maybe take it to the range together and you can get some of this out of your system.
Bonding moment. Yeah, I'm leaning gun. It's not a strong lean.
See, I'm gonna go Coke.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
really.
go.
Coke's such a gross drug too.
It is a gross drug, but I can see as a teenager, I can see the allure of it, right? Rock stars, movie stars do it. You know, I was getting fucked up with my friends. You know, it kind of feels good. Like, I ended up with this for my friend, as opposed to a gun. Like,
I might kill somebody.
Yeah, you're getting into a lifestyle there. Like, either I might kill somebody or I feel like I might get killed.
Fair point.
You know, if you get caught with a gun at school, that's a big fucking deal. If you get caught with a vial of Coke, still a big fucking deal, but I feel like not quite in the same ballpark. I'm going to go with the Coke.
You about to get weirded out one last time.
Great.
Would you rather always have to carry your dirty socks and underwear in your mouth, even 2 feet, even 2 feet to the hamper, or have to use your tongue and mouth to flush all toilets?
Oh, interesting.
I know what I'm saying. What are you thinking?
So wait, the rules are if I'm carrying my socks and underwear somewhere, I have to carry them in my mouth.
Yes.
I don't have to carry them with me in my mouth to work.
Correct.
Then that's socks and underwear. That's easy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like fucking awesome, but it's not that bad.
And even worst case scenario, it's your dirty socks and your dirty underwear.
It's not like my underwear is constantly coated in feces and like fucking.
Speak for yourself.
My socks have visible mold on them. Like, that's not that big a fucking deal. Like, yeah, no, I guess I get where they were going with that, but no, that's not that bad. I thought you were gonna tell me like you always have underwear in your mouth for the rest of your life. That would have been more difficult.
Yeah, why wouldn't any? Yeah, all right, that was back to an easy one. I guess that was the softball lob after those couple before that.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah, that card fizzled out. Started weak, got strong in the middle, and then fizzled out again. Oh, you almost hit the camera on that one. Yeah. I feel like you might have.
I caught the bottom of the.
It almost like full framed there. You could see the purple back of the card. It was so close.
Nice. I'm just gonna keep moving the camera closer until I'm able to hit it.
Can we go so I can take a shower after those questions? Because I feel bad.
Between those questions and discussing Aziz Ansari, it's like I just feel like a dirty, terrible person.
Girthy dick, yeah.
Well, I think that's a great time to end it. So thank you very much for tuning in for another Last Call podcast. Thank you very much.
He can go down on you, and you can go down on him.
Yeah, it's or you go down on your wife that now has a dick.
Oh,
yeah.
The big. We need to talk about how big it is.
It's like Aziz Ansari size.
Do I gotta like struggle to fit it in? Is it bigger than mine? That's a good question.
Oh,
I guess someone have one.
Dick envy from your wife.
Is it bigger than mine?
That's tough.
Yeah, tough. That matters.
Tune in next time on Last Call podcast. See you next time on next Last Call.
See ya.